There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power, either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents. And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure. That's okay. In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
We got to talk about Obama. So Obama decided to comment on the results of the election of 2024. And in the intro, you can see him talking about how he accuses the Republicans of stacking the deck in their favor. Interesting. Obama is a case of projection 101, right? This is a tactic commonly with socialists, Marxists, communists. It's a common tactic of the left. Accuse your opponents of everything you're doing. And one of the biggest examples I have, he talks about the DOJ. The DOJ is the biggest one. Who started prosecuting their political rivals first? Republicans or Democrats? Now, depending on how far in history you go, you'll make a point. But I always would caution that it's Democrats that's always start, because Democrats are always the ones that break precedent. Let's talk with Obama in his second term. When he had a chance to respect the filibuster, you needed 60 votes to confirm a justice. Obama didn't like the fact that Republicans kept getting in his way, so he removed the filibuster to allow a simple majority to confirm judges. And remember, Mitch McConnell, his old butt, was like, Obama, the Democrats are going to regret this. And regret they did, because when Donald Trump won, now they complain, oh my God, he got to confirm 3 judges. Ain't Trump's fault. It's not Trump's fault. Who broke the precedent? Obama. So they're always accusing the conservatives, the Republicans, of everything they're doing. When it comes to rhetoric, they're talking about, oh, we need to tone down the temperature of political rhetoric. But you guys are the ones who projected it first. You call our guy Hitler. You call our guy the devil, essentially. You call our guy a threat to democracy, threat to America, a dictator, tyrant. You talk. This is how you was talking about Donald Trump, and how Donald Trump talking about y'all guys. He insulted you, call you names. Okay, but you're equating him to some of the most evil people in our history. Make it make sense. And then when people act on it, the 2 attempted assassinations on him, they base, we got to take out the threat to democracy. One of them used those terms. You want to pretend, oh, no, it's the right. The right's contributing to political rhetoric. No, you are the source of it. Right? And I'm going to give you an example, right, of how this charge that he labels at the Republicans, they're trying to stack the deck in their favor. Let's talk about illegal immigrants, because this is a point Republicans, conservatives been making. I made this point a lot about why I believe there's a political motive for Democrats to defend illegal aliens. And this clip will give you more insight of what I'm talking about. Let's take a look.
You just said you didn't know if there were political implications for congressional apportionment in the Electoral College and you're counting illegals.
In all honesty, I am not a politician. I'm a scientist. And so we do our counts according to the Constitution.
Mr. Science.
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
When you're doing apportionment, we're doing congressional seats based on population that includes illegal aliens. Does that have a political impact in campaigns when you're drawing those lines and having people vote in those elections?
They are counted in apportionment, yes.
So illegal immigrants are my first case of how the Democrats are stacking the deck in their favor, right? You have Nancy Pelosi out here whose net worth is about $240 million, right? And people always accuse her of, hey, you're insider trading, But why no one ever prosecute her? Why the DOJ never investigate her? Interesting, isn't it? Could that be the reason why Biden is out here thinking about preemptive pardons? Because he knows that if Trump gets into office, he's going to use the DOJ to hold them accountable the same way they try to hold Donald Trump accountable, correct? Who broke precedent? That's my biggest question. When you ask, when the Republicans react, everyone's going to pretend that Republicans are the one that started it, when in reality, it's Democrats. Who started using the DOJ to go after their political rivals? And you got Obama here trying to lecture us? This is why I agree with this commenter here. Obama Voters put bureaucracy far down priority list by choosing Trump. There, I fix it for you, Obama, because Obama's trying to make this claim that, oh my God, voters put democracy far down the priority list by choosing Trump. Obama took a swipe at voters' priorities following Trump's victory over Kamala, suggesting America care more about other issues than protecting democracy. Speaking at his foundational formal, Obama acknowledged the groans and eye rolls his democracy talk now attracts. Obama, it is fair to say that it didn't turn out as they had hoped. He also urged compromise with political opponents, a stark shift from pre-election warnings about Trump being a threat to democratic institutions. Right? Yeah, look at the switch up. So everything you were saying was political. And then they wonder why people think the lawfare against Trump was politically motivated.
It is his son, after all, and people do have sympathy for that. But a lot of people are angry with him about it. What do you say?
Oh, well, I think it's undeniable that the case against Hunter Biden was really politically motivated, but I also think it's true that the trial in New York for Trump that was political as well too. Now it's that, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate, and I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases. And we cannot allow these kinds of institutions to be weaponized against our political opponents. And it's very clear both trials were politically motivated and weaponized that on the other side.
They'll say that about the J6 people too, though, right? That's what they're going to say on the other side. That is weaponized also.
I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about the New York trial, and now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful, calling it like now he's a convicted felon and those things, and now for our party we were talking about criminal justice, and we are now talking about second chances, and now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's a convicted felon and all these things. And now clearly, again, both of those trials, the Hunter Biden one and the trial in New York for Trump, that was politically motivated, and those kinds of charges would have never been brought unless one side could realize that they could weaponize that.
So far in this video, I've made the case where I can say the Democrats are projecting everything that they technically are doing. Right? You went after Trump for political reasons, right? I have a Democrat senator agreeing with me, even though I may not agree who started it first, because at the end of the day, in my view, the Democrats started the political prosecution first, and the Republicans are just reacting to that. Because at the end of the day, like I said, Democrats have a tendency to break precedent, right? Biden just gave a 10-year pardon to his own son, and then Democrats are out here trying to run cover like Anna Navarro, forgot her name, from The View, trying to say, oh, how did he break precedent? President Woodson did it. Bill Clinton did it. Two Democrats, by the way. But how is Joe Biden breaking precedent? Did Bill Clinton or Woodrow Wilson give their brother a 10-year pardon? Going back towards the past, make it make sense. But they want to act like, oh, the investigations have no merit. Okay, but why Biden had to go 10 years back? You damn near pardoned his son his entire presidential term, from when he was a vice president to president. Make it make sense. But here you are. Oh, how is Biden setting precedent? This is the problem that people are seeing. That Obama, when you open your mouth, and this is why I think Obama lost so much weight in cultural, because he ran on hope and change. And when he ran on hope and change, everything was pretty much the same. Right? You had his attorney general, Eric Holder, fining companies that broke regulation. Remember, you could regulate yourself into tyranny. This is what Obama was doing. He regulated these corporations that broke the law, and as a way to pay their fines, Eric Holder will tell the corporations, "Hey, if you can pay your fines by donating to these progressive groups, these progressive advocacy groups, to pay your fine." Conservatives, Republicans were pissed about that. They're like, "Yo, you're trying to make a slush fund for your allies. Isn't that not trying to stack the deck in your own favor?" Democrats are such hypocrites. It's so ridiculous, right? I just did a video with Destiny getting triggered because a DNC co-chair criticized the way that the Democrats use the funds, the messaging of the Democrats as liars. And I said this: the Biden pardon has exposed the lies and the deception of the Democratic Party. And I just made the case for illegal migrants. Oh, the reason why you care about illegal immigrants because you benefit from them politically. They help you grow your consensus numbers, which helps with you rewriting districts, right? You get a higher electoral college vote. Also, if you're allowing them to vote, they tend to vote for you. It's no coincidence that if you look at all the states that voted for Kamala Harris, a lot of those states are sanctuary cities, sanctuary states. Coincidence, huh? California took a month to count votes and it flipped a seat. How is that not second to deck in your favor? I've never seen this scenario play out, and bear with me. I never seen a scenario play out where it took longer than a week to count votes. And after a month of counting votes, this is California, all of a sudden, the Republican always lose their seat when it takes longer than a day. But I never seen that happen with Democrats. Democrats never lose a seat with votes being counted so late in the game. Make it make sense. But you're accusing Obama. You're accusing the Republicans of stacking the deck in their favor to solidify power. Sounds like more what you're doing. And this is why I'm saying Obama's doing projection 101 here. Projection 101. All the arguments they're talking about, oh my God, Biden has to do preemptive pardons. Why? Because he's scared of the retaliation that he started. You can't throw a punch at somebody and not expect them to hit you back. That's the Democrats' whole political playbook. I want you guys to see this segment here of Scott Jennings essentially bringing up this point when these liberal Democrat DNC shills on these panels start playing defense for the Democrats. Let's take a look.
The question is, would they accept a pardon? Because if you don't think you did anything wrong, which they didn't, they might want to not take a pardon. But I will say this, you're talking about an unprecedented crew of people coming in. Listen, even if they don't indict you, they could investigate you into bankruptcy, torture you with FBI investigations. Kash Patel is evidently going to be our next FBI director. Is that what you want to be dealing with for the rest of your life?
Trump during the time he was out of office.
President Trump got actually indicted by a grand jury.
They tried to bankrupt him. They
oh my God.
raided his house.
The question is,
and you see how they try to dismiss it? This is Democrats' playbook, guys. Don't fall. This is why Obama's words fall on deaf ears. They got the media, right? I already mentioned this. I mentioned this, I don't know how many times already on my channel. If you've been following my channel for the past 2 years, I make this point very often. Journalism is the most liberal profession in the U.S. Only 3.2% of journalists are registered Republicans. Make it make sense. Liberals dominate journalism, right? So if the charge of stacking the deck in one's favor politically, who does that sound more closely related to? Democrats. The New York Times on Trump's pardon, right? Trump's doling out clemency to a new group of loyalists on Wednesday, wiping away convictions and sentences as he aggressively employs his power to override courts, juries, and prosecutors to apply his own standard of justice for his allies. This is how the New York Times covered Trump's pardon. Now let's look at Biden's pardon. A dark sky has fallen over Nutucky, Massachusetts, as Saturday evening when President Biden left church alongside his family after his final Thanksgiving as president. Look at the sob story first. This is the biggest critique I have of the media. You guys know it. If you follow my channel for a long time, this is my biggest critique of the media. If you had covered it, because let's say let's replace Trump here and put Biden. President Biden doles out clemency to a new group of loyalists on Wednesday, wiping away convictions. If they covered the story the same way, I would have no problem. You could say, oh, Kenny, the media is harsh on presidents. Who cares? I'd have had no problem with it. But the fact that I can notice the discrepancy, it's annoying. It's annoying the ish out of me. Inside a borrowed vacation compound earlier in the week, with its view on the Nutucky Harbor, Mr. Biden has met his wife, Jill, and his son, Hunter, to discuss a decision that has tormented him for months. Oh, sob story. Oh, my God. It was such a difficult decision for Biden to do. You have the media. You weaponize the DOJ. All the things that you're saying Biden's concerned about, he already did to Trump. He raided his house. Unprecedented. First time in ever a president has been convicted of a crime, of charges where no one was defrauded. Trump got charged 34 counts because a New York judge who is biased, by the way, that has a conflict of interest, by the way, because his daughter was donating on the fact that her dad or her uncle was presiding over Trump's court hearings in a district that overwhelmingly votes Democrat, where Trump was asking, "Hey, I think I need a change of venue because this change of venue is a politically dominated by my opponents, my rivals, my opponents, and they have a negative bias against me. I think I want to go to a more fair and balanced jurisdiction." The judge shut that down. And you want me to respect those 34 counts? Oh, he's a convicted felon. He's not a convicted felon. You saw John Fetterman agrees with me. Donald Trump's not a convicted felon. But Mr. Obama here claims that eventually one side is going to stack the deck by stealing elections and prioritizing and politicizing the U.S. government. Who has done that already? Democrats. He says this shamelessly after he and the Democrats just spent the last 10 years doing exactly that. These people are nothing short of evil. And he's mad that he lost relevance. He's now concerned, oh, how this will affect my legacy. The racial division, even racial division in this country, didn't start until Obama got into office. He was supposed to be hope and change. This is what made my dad privy to Obama's lies. He was supposed to be hope and change. But when he came in, he stoked racial division. Oh, the cops acted stupidly. Huh? He started the identity politics. 2008, remember? Occupy Wall Street. To stay, those in power, they use division as a tactic to divide the populace because they know if the populace is fighting amongst each other, they can do all these corrupt things without the attention of the populace. But they know if the populace are unified together, it's a threat to them. And Democrats have admitted this constantly on news articles that, hey, yeah, they kind of need division to win. If all of America saw each other as one nation under God, right? Indivisible. There's a reason why they love identity politics. There's a reason why they try to divide people. Oh, gay people can't vote for Republicans. Black people can't vote for Republicans. Minorities shouldn't vote for Republicans. The reason why they do that is because they don't want you to be united as a country. Because if we live in a country where no one saw each other as differently because of their skin color and sexual orientation, all they see themselves as loyal Americans to each other, they can't control that. They can't play this division BS. If a black man says I'm voting Republican, no, they ain't gonna give you no side eye in that. They're like, oh, okay, you're making a good decision. Because if everyone realized that they have a common interest, they'll realize the Democratic Party is the one that offers the worst trade-offs. Every single time. Everything the Democrats do is to preserve their own power. Like, make it make sense. You have an obvious person, right? I'm just gonna leave this example here. You have an obvious person called Nancy Pelosi who hit an all-time high of $240 million. The new director of the FBI, Kash Patel, says it's inside trading. Joe Rogan says everyone with eyes can see that this lady, over a span of maybe I don't know how long she's been in office, she made six figures for at least 50 years. 5 million is maybe 20 million is reasonable to assume that she'll get a $20 million net worth working six figures for 50 years. But it's 240 million? Questionable. Why hasn't she been investigated by the DOJ? Wondering minds want to know, but you want to pretend that, oh yeah, we're fighting for democracy. No. It's exactly what the commenter said. The voters didn't care about your bureaucracy. Then the Democratic Party is a party of bureaucracy, not democracy. Democracy says if you're the party of democracy, you'll accept the American people made a choice. We'll try to work with Republicans where we agree on, and we'll try to make our case to the American people about why we think our solution is better. Our approach is better. Democrats are not saying that. They're trying to obstruct, get in the way, talk about how Pete Hegseth is not qualified, right? Try to create some negative perceptions, smear campaigns. The media is in the pocket of the Democrats too. And I already told you, the Democrats, journalists is the most liberal profession, so they got political activists using their position as journalists to try to create a narrative of negativity on the Republican Party. But one side is trying to stack the deck in their favor. But tell me how that's not the Democratic Party. Tell me. But, I digress, man. I'm done. But Obama's just exposed the whole Democratic playbook. And if you pay attention enough, that's what I'm saying. If you want to be good at political, all you got to do is pay attention and have a long memory. Because they can't play this little BS with you if you know the history, if you have the timeline, if you have the timeline, you'll be able to see through all their BS. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear what you guys are thinking. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.